The art of letting go, Stoicism and attachment. In a world that constantly tells us to hold on, to cling, to seek more, the idea of letting go might sound paradoxical. We're taught from a young age to strive for success, to accumulate, to secure our future, and to build our identity around what we possess. We fear losing, whether it's relationships, possessions, or even status. And yet, the more we accumulate, the heavier the burden becomes. What if true freedom lies not in holding on, but in letting go? Today, we explore the Stoic philosophy of attachment, examining how the act of releasing control over what we cannot change can unlock a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Stoicism, an ancient school of philosophy, encourages us to focus on what's within our power and detach from the rest. But how do we learn to let go without losing ourselves in the process? Let's dive into the art of letting go through the lens of Stoic wisdom and uncover how we can navigate our world with more clarity, peace, and purpose. Understanding attachment. It's a feeling we all know too well. Whether it's attachment to a person, a possession, or an outcome, it shapes much of our life experience. At its core, attachment is the psychological bond we form with things that make us feel safe, secure, or validated. It gives us a sense of purpose, or at least a distraction from the chaos around us. But attachment, as the Stoics would argue, is an illusion. The more we attach ourselves to external things, the more we set ourselves up for suffering. Take, for instance, the Stoic sage Marcus Aurelius. He was the emperor of Rome, a man who commanded great power. Yet, in his meditations, he frequently reminded himself that everything is transient. Time is a river of passing events, and those who hold on to the riverbank are destined to drown, he writes. This vivid imagery suggests that holding on to the external world, whether it's achievements, relationships, or possessions, only binds us to it. The Stoic path asks us to loosen our grip. Why? Because things change. People change. Even our own bodies age. The more we attach to the external, the more we become vulnerable to loss. And loss is inevitable. The question is not whether we will lose, but how we will respond when we do. Letting go of control. When we speak of letting go, it's not about relinquishing all sense of purpose or responsibility. It's about recognizing what's within our control and what is not. The Stoic philosophy draws a clear line between these two realms. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, put it plainly. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. In this, he offers a profound wisdom. The only thing that truly belongs to us is our own response. When we detach from the need to control the uncontrollable, whether it's the behavior of others, the unfolding of events, or the results of our efforts, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Control is an illusion. True power lies in our response. This shift in perspective can be liberating. We no longer feel the weight of the world pressing down on us. We embrace the flow of life with its uncertainties without trying to force it into a rigid mold. And that acceptance, that willingness to relinquish control over the uncontrollable, brings peace, attachment to people and relationships. One of the most challenging forms of attachment is to people, particularly in romantic relationships and friendships. We often believe that love means ownership, that we must possess or control those we love. But attachment of this kind is dangerous. When we attach ourselves to others with the expectation that they will meet our needs, fulfill our desires, and remain by our side forever, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Relationships, like all things, are fluid. They change, evolve, and sometimes they end. The Stoics advise us to love without attachment, to care deeply but not desperately. This doesn't mean we become cold or distant. On the contrary, it invites us to love fully and freely without clinging. By practicing detachment, we allow others the freedom to be themselves. We release them from the burden of our expectations and let the relationship grow organically. As Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, writes, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Much of the pain we feel in relationships comes from our own imagined fears of loss, not from the actual experience of it." The art of letting go in relationships is not about stopping to care, but about releasing the pressure of control and embracing the natural course of things, letting go of material attachments. Now, let's talk about material attachments. We live in a world driven by consumption. We chase after possessions, careers, social status, and external validation. But what happens when those things are stripped away? The Stoics, particularly Diogenes, believed that the pursuit of material wealth and luxury was ultimately futile. Diogenes lived in a barrel, rejecting society's standards of wealth and luxury in favor of simplicity. He taught that happiness does not lie in possessions, but in the mind's ability to find contentment in any circumstance. When we release our attachment to material goods, we find that our happiness is no longer tethered to fleeting things. We discover a deeper sense of fulfillment in the present moment, in relationships, and in our own growth. The more we let go of what we think we need, the more we come to understand that we already have what we need inside us. A man of wisdom and virtue does not need to chase after external things. Instead, he cultivates internal wealth, the wealth of wisdom, self-control, and resilience. Letting go of expectations. One of the hardest attachments to release is that of expectation. We place expectations on ourselves, on others, and on life. We think that things should unfold in a certain way, according to our plans. But life is unpredictable, and the more rigid our expectations, the greater our disappointment when things don't go as planned. Marcus Aurelius, despite being an emperor, faced countless setbacks and challenges throughout his reign. Yet, he approached life with acceptance and flexibility. What stands in the way becomes the way, he reminds us. This simple yet powerful Stoic principle teaches us that obstacles are not enemies to be avoided, but opportunities for growth. When we let go of the need for things to go a certain way, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, learning, and adaptation. Rather than demanding that life align with our desires, we embrace life as it is, trusting that every experience holds valuable lessons, the path to true freedom. So, how do we move forward on this path of letting go? It starts with understanding that the key to true freedom is not in gaining control, but in relinquishing it. By practicing detachment, we liberate ourselves from the chains of our desires, our fears, and our attachments. We learn to embrace life as it comes, without clinging to the past or obsessing over the future. In letting go, we discover a profound freedom. Freedom from suffering, freedom from the burden of expectation, and freedom from the need to control everything around us. This is the Stoic way. By focusing on what is within our power, the way we respond to life, the way we control our thoughts, and the way we cultivate virtue, we unlock a life of peace and fulfillment. The art of letting go is not about resigning ourselves to passivity or indifference. It is about embracing the flow of life, accepting its challenges, and trusting that we have the strength to navigate through them with wisdom and grace. As we wrap up this exploration of the art of letting go, remember, detachment is not a rejection of life or love. It is an invitation to embrace life more fully, without the burdens of unnecessary attachment. The Stoic philosophers understood that true freedom comes from within, from the ability to let go of what is not ours to control. By releasing our attachments, we free ourselves to live a life that is aligned with our deepest values, one that is not swayed by the fleeting nature of external things. So, let go. Let go of the need for control. Let go of expectations. Let go of the attachments that bind you. And in doing so, discover the peace that comes with truly being free. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, subscribe to Mind Crack Theory for more insights into philosophy, existence, and the art of deep thinking. Leave a comment below on what you're ready to let go of in your life. And remember, true peace isn't found in things, it's found within.